teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. One employee has been fired and 2 others suspended by the Wisconsin Department of Corrections after the escape of Slenderman stabber Morgan Geiser. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the 3 staff members were originally placed on leave following the incident. Geiser cut off her GPS monitoring device and fled her group home in Madison back in November. She was found a day later in Illinois. It took DOC staff members almost 12 hours to report Geiser's escape to local authorities. The department is responsible for the state's GPS monitoring program. More reaction from Wisconsin's congressional delegation on the most recent deadly shooting in Minneapolis involving federal agents. Republican Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Tom Tiffany says he still has not seen any videos from over the weekend.
I've not watched the videos closely. I mean, oftentimes they're grainy, and I reserve judgment until professionals review this thoroughly and have a chance to do a full investigation.
Democratic Congresswoman Gwen Moore says everyone involved must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. There have been bipartisan calls for a deeper investigation. The Mount Pleasant Village Board approves plans for 15 more Microsoft data centers. The additional data centers will be located at 2 sites just east of I-94 on land already owned by Microsoft and zoned for industrial use. Project Director Claude Lewis doubling down on reassurances that Microsoft will pay its own way for energy use.
They are paying it themselves. And they also asked the PSC as well as We Energies to raise their rate to make sure that none of this would ever fall on yours, local ratepayers.
The expansion adds to 2 data centers already under construction in the former Foxconn site. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Is it cold outside? It's kind of chilly, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Well, I guess when you have minus 30 and 40 degree temperatures, what's a 10-degree increase, right? So everything's going good. Everything's going great. Well, everything was going good until I had a conversation with somebody today. And I wanted to talk about the conversation. And so people misinterpret what others say. And I think it's important that we understand exactly what it is people are saying. So I have two really, really, really big. I'm going to talk about other things today. Talk about what you want to talk about. 833-212-1017 is the number. You can always stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Or you can go to 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a show. And before I keep going on, I also want to remind you that you can mark your calendars Friday, February 20th, second annual Truth Community Awards hosted by Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. And next week, I'll start talking about some of the people who are getting the award. You want to come see them and hang out and relax. Tickets are on sale. Visit 1017thetruth.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffel's, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And so one of the things I wanted to just share with you today, first of all, study hall is on. Let me see. I'll take a quick attendance and see who's all hanging out. Well, thank you, sir. I'll take a quick, let me see. Quanda's here. Lucretia, hey, what's going on? Early today. S.E., Dimitri, how's everybody doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, Sir Chance. No, I'm not, so don't even bring up mushroom coffee. Just don't. Zay. Interesting. Don't bring up mushroom coffee today. How can I reiterate that? It's an old saying, don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff. How's that? Was that good? That's good. But yeah, as I was saying, I had a conversation with somebody. I hate passive-aggressive conversations. It's like when people insult you and they think you're not smart to catch the insult presented as a general comment. And I usually don't get insulted. I'm just not, I get heated in like conversations and all that. But then when it's over, I'm just, Somebody intimated that I told them they couldn't say something today. And therefore I impeded their freedom of speech and talked about how they served the country and no one could tell them what to say. I don't recall saying that, but I think that's how they took it. Now, I didn't know voluntary service to your country or to your city gave you like heightened civil rights. I mean, it's interesting, but it's kind of news to me. Now, then the person intimated that they were taught to watch what they say because other people might misinterpret the intent. And so basically I was told to be careful with the words I use because you say things and I'm thinking to myself, but isn't that what you told me, that you have a right to say what you have to say? You having been in the military and served the country doesn't give you a bigger right to say it over me. It's equal. And so I told this person, I don't control how you take my words. That's your issue. That's your problem. But telling me I need to couch my words into niceties to make you feel good is, well, that lessens my speech. You say that you uphold so well. It sounded like a situation of, well, good for me and not for thee. Then they went on to tell me that they used to be a cop for 3 years and served in the military for 6. And I applaud that
Let me just put it out there. I applaud that, and I thank God for the people that serve in law enforcement and serve in the military. It's voluntary, and they do it. But while I appreciate the sacrifice of serving the country, my service to the Milwaukee community and law enforcement for 29 years and some change is not diminished because you serve in the military, as if it's some magic potion that makes me accept their word. So whenever I have a conversation with somebody, they always want to remind me, I served in the military. Okay. Do you get like extra accolades or extra and then the other side is, you're a military hater. No. Father was in the Army. Uncle was in the Air Force. My uncle was a non-commissioned officer. I'll say it. Military doesn't trump civilian law enforcement. Both were a choice. Both are different, but they were a choice. So I say don't disparage either service, but don't downplay the sacrifices local law enforcement make every day. We know the military is deserving of the sacrifices they made because of the sacrifices they made and are making each and every day to make this country safe. Law enforcement has no special days throughout the year, well, maybe Police Week in May, where no one pays attention. Did you know that there are 76 military-related days, holidays, and honorifics throughout the entire year? Why? Because they deserve it. Yet law enforcement are self-leaders, self-actualizers, self-starters. I can support law enforcement without bashing the military, but I refuse to subjugate or subordinate, probably a better word, law enforcement to the military. It's been said that the cemetery is full of two types of people, heroes and fools. I think the cemetery might not be the only place. It's not two sides of the same coin. It's two separate coins. And I'm not asking anybody to share the love. Just respect.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
Been listening to you guys for probably a month. It's some change now, and this is one of my favorite radio shows. And I'm 24, so I used to think talk shows was like an old head thing, and y'all got me hooked.
Welcome to Truth Nation.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Yeah, don't bring up tomatoes or rice either. Or aspirin, or he was talking crazy nonsense. Peanuts, like crazy nonsense. He said mushroom gravy. Beat it, Sir Chance. Africa Queen, what's going on? Y'all need to quit. Hey, what's up? Not really a city girl. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, gotta let you know it starts with a spark, and at Milwaukee College Prep, that spark turns into something extraordinary. From age 3 to 8th grade, MCP nurtures brilliance, building scholars in knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of students face economic hardship, but that doesn't define them, because at MCP, every child's potential shines. With 4 campuses, one powerful mission, college and beyond. Milwaukee College Prep is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, where Milwaukee's future begins to shine. 833-212-1017 is the number. So y'all been talking about all week long, all last week, about renting versus buying, the issues we got with the renting and all that. There's some negatives that come with renting. There's some positives that come with renting. But I have an idea, and I believe that in the end, renting is positive. I know I started a problem. You could probably make that the poll. Should you rent or buy? If you're in the YouTube chat, should you rent or buy? But before you answer the poll, hear me out. So we talk about the American dream. We talk about the things in Milwaukee that blocked buying a house. We talk about wealth. But think about this. We've been hearing our entire lives about the American dream. We got told growing up, work hard, buy a house, good, build some equity, pass something down. But the truth is, there's some things they don't teach in school. The dream was built with lines, some of them red, some of them monetary. Not just property lines, not just the bottom line. There's also racial lines. And if you understand the lines, you can understand the wealth gap and how it got here. Let me go through it. So in the 1930s, federal government drew maps in American cities. They didn't label them good or bad neighborhoods. They just labeled them A, B, C, and D. Green was best. Blue was okay. Yellow was declining. Red, well, we know what that is. Hazardous. Guess who lived in red? We did. Black people and immigrants. Working class people. In Milwaukee, entire neighborhoods on the north side were shaded red, not because of crime, not because people weren't paying their bills, not because there's trash, not because there's reckless driving. It's because black people live there. One area, when it's redlined, banks don't give mortgages, insurance companies don't insure, businesses don't invest, and white families are getting 30-year low-interest loans. Black people are renting or forced into a bad contract. But then there's deed lines. Oh, you can get a house if you can. If you got everything right, line up your ducks, you can get it. You just can't get this house. Why? Because some property can't be sold to black people. Tens of thousands of properties in Milwaukee County and in the suburbs wouldn't be called wouldn't be called black homes. Wauwatosa, Shorewood, West Dallas, black people, black families were legally, based on the federal government, blocked from buying a house. Now, if you remember after World War II, the government said they want to reward GIs. Came back from World War II and you came back and you're victorious and all this. We beat the Nazis and we beat Germany and all that. So they offered low interest home loans, no money down. It was the biggest middle class wealth builder in history. Race neutral on paper, the system wasn't. Local banks approved the loans. They wouldn't give black people loans. Local people sold the homes, but they wouldn't give them to black people. Local people controlled the neighborhoods, and they wouldn't give them to black people. They had local covenants. White veterans got new suburban houses. Black veterans, no houses available, no loans approved, or basically you could get one, but it's in the red line area. Because of that, during that time, the biggest source of wealth wasn't stock, but home equity. The $9,000 house then is worth $250 or more today. That's how college got paid for. That's how businesses got started. That's how generational wealth got started. But in Milwaukee today, white ownership is roughly double black home ownership. And so those are the arguments that people use as to why you should own a home. Now remember, before 1900, most Americans rented or lived in multifamily housing. They owned land, but that was for farmers or wealthy people. In cities, people rented. It wasn't until after the Great Depression and the post-World War II boom, or the quote-unquote baby boom, that people started buying houses. So what they started selling is private property created independence and prosperity. But did it? They said it created stability, it created neighborhood stability, economic control. But in reality, houses cost more relative to income. And the only people making money are realtors and bankers. And you're tying up your money for 30 years. Maintenance is higher, taxes is higher. So something you have to always consider is renting and investing can actually outperform in many cases. And people don't want you to look at that because the market tells you something different. Homeownership was created not as a dream, but to stimulate the economy, build the middle class, promote stability, and it got oversold and it became a cultural milestone for white people. But the bottom line is it was government engineered, it was bank enabled, it was industry marketed, and it's politically symbolic. And it's only in recent years that it's actually become a cultural phenomenon. But look at all the things you have to pay. Your mortgage, mortgage insurance, taxes, homeowner's insurance, maintenance, windows, grass cutting, snow, boiler, electric, hot water heater. Any of those things happen, you're done. You got to pay for it. So your mortgage monthly might be lower, but the bank is making money. Anytime the city wants to decide, hey, we want more money, they just bump up your taxes. If you're in an apartment, at least the tax money is spread out across the home ownership or the 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 or however many apartments are in a building, to where your rent may go up $25, maybe $30 a year per month. But think about that. we've been sold this thing that homeownership is great, then why aren't we getting rich owning a home? Hey, I know what I want to do. I want to tie up my money for 20 years. I want to make sure that I can't invest, that I don't have it. Now, all that money I talked about would roughly give you somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a year to invest in the market. Now, this is just me talking. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not giving financial advising and all that. I would put that money in a mutual fund or an ETF that covered the total market. And over the years, you would have made roughly 22%. That way you're not invested in something or it's a big company and that big company falls or that sector like technology goes down and then you lose money. If technology, first of all, they all don't go down at the same time. So even if you lose money with a lot of businesses, you're going to make money with a lot of businesses. And if it's the whole market, over time, you're going to make somewhere between 10 and 22%. That's what happened over the last 5 years. I think the last 5 years was like 30. I'm sorry, the last 3 years was about 30%. Last 5 years was about 22%. Think about making 22%. But you have to have the money. Well, where does the money come from? Renting. There's this thing in our psyche that says we have to own a house. And what I'm doing is tying you to a community, tying you to a neighborhood. So if, God forbid, you get a job, now I got to get rid of this house. Now I got to find somebody else to buy it before I can leave, or I'm going to be paying 2 mortgages or an apartment and a mortgage. Makes no sense. Yes, I might pay more for the apartment, but what I don't have is all those extra fees, extra payments, taxes, and interest, all that. I don't have to pay it. And I take that money, if you're disciplined, invest it, and over time, in that same time, paying off the house, you can become a millionaire. But if I'm steadily putting money in my house and steadily have to save and get new roofs, new windows, new boilers, new furniture, new everything because it's going to wear out, that's what you get. It's just a consideration. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. We've been told, I think, and sold a bill of goods. We've been told that if you think like that, something's wrong. If I were to do it, I would rent. Now, people talk about there's nothing like owning your own house. No landlord. That's what Melody said. Where'd that come from? You fix everything. You pay for everything. Do you know that wealthy people rent? Did you know that wealthy people rent? They invest in real estate, maybe with somebody else, or they'll buy a house when they have enough cash to just buy it, but then they have enough money so that they're not bothered by all the maintenance and the wear and tear and the replacement of things like boilers and, what do you call them, water heaters and all that stuff. So think about that. When you're young, don't buy. But that's just a thought. Many of you have already jumped in and said, absolutely not. 71% say buy. Right. Are you going to help them pay when life happens? Are you going to help them pay the extra money and the insurance? And, oh, your mortgage is only $1,000. Oh, but you got to pay. Oh, wait a minute. You got $10,000. So we divide $10,000 by 12, and that's how much you got to pay for your taxes every year. Oh, and because you didn't put more than 20% down, you got to pay your mortgage insurance. Oh, and by the way, you got to have actual insurance on the house, and you haven't moved in yet. You haven't moved in yet. Oh, and by the way, we're tacking interest on that loan too. So actually, you're paying around $2,000, maybe $1,500 to $1,800. Think about that. Or you could pay $12,000 and take $200 and put it in the market every month and make way more than your house is ever going to give you back. Because ownership, you got to make sure that the person down the street that has a comparable house keeps their house up and their property up so your property can go up. But if theirs goes down, yours goes down. And you don't even control it. And that includes condos, too, because if you move into a condo, you got a homeowners association telling you what you can and can't do. Oh, you got a package outside your house. You can't leave it outside. Oh, you can't park on your parking. Now, I live, not me, but I'm just philosophically, I live in a house, and I got a friend of mine, have a family member who lives in a neighborhood where they can't park outside their garage. They got to put the car in the garage because that's what the homeowners association says. Idiotic. So if I was going to move somewhere else, first thing I ask, is this a condo? Yes, no. Is this a house? Yes, no. You have a homeowner association or a renters association? Yes, no. Not moving there. Bizarre. But we've been sold this because it is part of our American psyche. What do you mean you don't want to own a house? There's something wrong. You're throwing your money away. When we come back, there's a question in the chat from SE that I want to talk about regarding home warranties. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Well, southbound 43 backing up now from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise. Back on the brakes from Lincoln down towards the KK River crossing. Westbound 94 still heavy from 20th Street past the Stadium interchange. Eastbound's backed up from about 84th Street to just past 68th. Southbound 41 heavy from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. And then on westbound 894, we got backups out of the Mitchell interchange. Those stretch all the way over to about 60th Street. Eastbound's backed up out of the Hale to Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 1 above. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
When the winter chill sets in, Milwaukee turns up the wonder. From January 22nd to February 1st, 2026, Milwaukee Museum Days invites you to unlock the city's cultural treasures at special admission prices, up to 25% off many top attractions. Explore world-class art, local history, hands-on science, and one-of-a-kind Milwaukee experiences. Pair your museum visits with Milwaukee Hotel Month deals for the ultimate winter escape. Learn more at visitmilwaukee.org/museum days.
Hey y'all, it's 101.7 The Truth's Rhea Riley for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space, promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments, including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo's return remains uncertain after a calf strain, and Friday night's loss to the Denver Nuggets had him exit in the first half. Head coach Doc Rivers on the return.
So MRI has revealed exactly what we thought. There's no timetable, calf strain, and really no timetable for return.
Marquette Golden Eagles Hoops is back in action tonight, returning to the Pfizer Forum to face off against the Creighton Blue Jays. The last time the two teams matched up, a 25-2 run by Creighton sealed the victory for the Blue Jays. Marquette has not won a game outside of Pfizer Forum this season. Tip-off is set for 8:30 p.m. And Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders is being added to the Pro Bowl roster, sources confirmed yesterday. Sanders will replace Drake May, whose New England Patriots have advanced to the Super Bowl. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Home remedies. We were talking about that before the break. Home remedies. What are your thoughts? As he said, hey, Dr. Ken, what are your thoughts about home warranties? Depends. Like everything. Depends. Can you afford it? 2, what do you get for the home warranty? Now, I don't know which home warranty you mean. The home warranty that you, like when you're selling your house, you get a warranty, so if something goes wrong, they'll fix it? Or you have a home warranty where when you own your house, you have a warranty, so if your washer breaks, they come fix it, but you know what the price is before they do. I had one of those on a refrigerator. And the refrigerator, they said, if we come out 3 times, so we got to replace it. I said, okay. They came out 3 times, couldn't fix my refrigerator. Guess what they did? They replaced it. That was within the first 3 weeks. So for me, it worked out great. Will it work out for other people? You may go, it's like maybe like car insurance. You go your entire life and never need it. It's good to have, but that's a hard one for me. Melody said, ask a renter with Barada which they would choose. Well, you really can't say that because you may not live with Barada, and the majority of people who rent apartments and the majority of people who, I'm not saying that right, the majority of people who are renters and the majority of people who rent apartments aren't like that. They don't have those problems. Some do, yeah. But do you do things and operate by the negative or the positive? Rob said the biggest problem with renting is that you don't control your environment. When I rented half of my neighborhood and the house were nice and the other half were insane, then I had to get out. Well, then you probably moved to the wrong place. Again, nothing's perfect. You could buy a house and now you can't leave because you find out your neighbors are, insane. Now you're stuck paying a mortgage and you can't. At least if I'm renting, if I figure out, you know what, I got to get out of this. How much is it going to cost me to leave? It's going to cost you $1,800. Well, let me figure out how to get $1,800 and get out. You got a mortgage. You either got to sell it or pay off your $250,000 mortgage. Flexibility. That's just me. SC said, yes, we've had a refrigerator, furnace, hot water heater, washer, dryer, and stove all replaced over the years. For years, never used it. Then all of a sudden, stuff started breaking down. That is called, you know what that's called? Why are you harassing my producer? What's he doing? Why are you harassing my producer?
Why can't I just come down and say hi to my friends?
Because you're distracting me.
He's not distracted. His eyes are clearly on you.
Not when he's laughing with you and you showing him something on your phone. See how you treat me? See how you treat me? That's why Seattle's gonna win. Nah. That was Glenn. So that's what happens over the years. What it's called is planned obsolescence. It's only going to work for so long, and then it's going to start breaking down. That's on purpose, so you buy a new one. When I was growing up, they made stuff, and it lasts for decades. And somebody went, hey, dude, we ain't making no money. They be going after these younger people, and they not buying. So what we going to do? Planned obsolescence. Your computer software, your computer hardware, all that. Planned obsolescence. And there's not really a lot you can do about it. But what happens is over time, it's going to break. So in the money that you've spent on a warranty, could you just like save up and buy one? Yeah. Or spend $8 and go to the laundromat? I don't know. I had to go to the laundromat. Let me tell this story. So my washer died. I told the story. Washer died. They had to come and didn't come, and then had to wait, and then they didn't wait, and then they finally brought it. And they finally came Saturday at about 3 in the afternoon and installed it. It was just a nightmare. I would have done better just going to the laundromat. So, I don't know. Now, let me also say, SE, my washer I bought when I bought my house 20 years ago. So it's 20 years old. I got a lot of wear and tear out that thing. So I'm just saying. Rob said, when I got out, I bought a house in 2006. That's before house prices went insane. I paid my house off last year. That will be harder for people to do now. I do understand that. No, what you did is you tied up your money for 19 years. And think about the money that you paid on your house. Think if you had invested that in the market. Think about that. 19 years at $1,000 a year, dollar cost average then, and you're talking a really good return. Did you get that out your house? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. If you live in a city, suburb, where you live. Those are all the things you have to look at. Or you can have extra money at the end of every single month because you rent. That's just me. That's just me. Right now, had I thought about it, I would have rented for about 20 years, 30 years, and then bought a house. I would have rented, invested that money, took what I invested, bought a house, had instant equity. Then I could work with it. This way, I got to wait while I build equity. And I'm paying all the interest on the loan in the beginning. So even if I decide I don't want to pay you back, they made all the interest and I got to pay you. You get mortgage insurance, but the mortgage insurance is only for the company, not you. So if you don't pay off the house, they get the mortgage insurance and they get to sell the house. And then on top of that, you still got to pay them back money. So they make more money. It's just weird. It's a weird process made by people in finance to make money off of you. And I understand it. That's the nature of the beast. I just personally think the more you save and pay for in cash, those issues you don't have. I've never had a problem paying for stuff in cash because when people start hemming and hawing, cash usually cancels it. Oh, we don't haggle on the price. Then I don't haggle on buying. Like, I don't really care. But you're going to throw in some extra stuff. You're going to throw in some extra everything, or I'm not going to buy. And that's just how it is. I haggle about everything. There is nothing that is not haggle-proof. I think it all depends. Crystal said, I think it all depends on your lifestyle. Okay. For me, having a house with some land was a good thing because I have 6 dogs. Plus, it was very private, which is what I needed. Okay. And how are your investments? How's your 401k, 403b? Think about those things. Think about what you could have done had you not had all the keep up and snow removal and grass cutting and all that. The answer is not, it depends. The answer is what's right for you. And then choose. I think it's great, either one, as long as you know what it is that you're getting into. That what you think is going to happen, life is going to happen. And what you think is going to go great, it may not go great. And it's okay. You may get an apartment that's with a crappy owner, or you might get a house that's crappy with a crappy seller. Like, there's so many things that go into it. Just know what you're going into. If you know what you're going into, I think you should be fine. That's just me. 833-212-1017 is the number. Thank you for your comments. I don't know. 77 said buying is best. No, buying is best for you. And that's one thing we have to look at. When you make decisions, your decisions are not based on what everybody else does. Your decision is based on what's best for you. So we can't make general statements. I can only tell you what I would do. For you, it might be different. Who said that? So I guess who was that Crystal or whoever? I guess it would depend. I think Crystal said it, and I remember who it was. Who was it? Anyway, I guess it would depend. But it depends on you, not what anybody else says, not what the bank says, not what your realtor says, not what your family says. You. If you're planning on moving and planning on, I think I'm going to work here, and I think later I'm going to move to Charlotte, then I'm going to move to Atlanta, then I'm going to go to Detroit, then I want to move to Seattle. Guess what? You should probably rent. If you don't want to stay in a job so long that I got to hold on to this house. Now, the thing the thing that they make look easy is that when you get to the assistant vice president level, direct, when you take those jobs, the company owns that house. And they take the payment for it out of your check. But you're making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. So for you, it's not a big deal because if you take another job, they just lease the house to somebody else. It's no big deal. They ain't got to take care of grass and snow and all that. It just depends on what contract you have with the company. So people try to make it look easy. But wealthy people rented. And a lot of us don't know that. A lot of us, Thomas said it. Answer, it depends. A lot of us don't know that. We don't think that that's an actual good thing to do. And that's because the marketing and government and business, and we got sold a bill of goods to make other people money. Thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris.
Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, you just won $5,000!
What would you do with $5,000?
That's sweet for a couple months.
Yes!
There you go.
Yes.
God just made me happy.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Can we hold something?
Y'all holler back at y'all.
I got money now.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
In a matchup fueled by speed, strength, and school pride. On Wednesday night, get ready for a city conference battle as the Bradley Tech Trojans take on the South Division Cardinals in a matchup fueled by speed, strength, and school pride. Big plays, loud crowds, and city conference bragging rights are on the line. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Love is a losing game. Played by fools and
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Rob's in the YouTube chat said, I hate to say, but the only reason I could afford it is because I don't have kids. Correct. See, we spend so much time responding to change somebody's mind instead of just saying what we say. Thomas said, the last thing I'd call me is cute. So Thomas said, budget 1 to 1.5% of home's value for yearly maintenance. I told him that's cute using percentages, but life doesn't follow. Sickness follow percentages. Sickness, tragedy, breakdowns hits everyone, and it's usually catastrophic. So don't call you cute. I wasn't trying to call you cute. My name is not Sherwin Hughes. I'm just saying. Bruh. I'm just saying. Did you hear when I called Sherwin this morning about allergies? It's crazy. Nonsense. Crystal said, compare that with my first house, which was actually a money pit. And that's what most people buy. We lost money on that house, plus we lived next to maniacs, criminals who made our lives miserable. I was never so happy as the day we moved. Or you could have moved to a suburb and an apartment. and been around meth heads. Oops. Did I say that? Again. But you know what I'm saying? Like nothing's perfect, nothing, everything. But what works for you? That's the important thing. What works for you? Bottom line is it's been proven financially that if you rent and take all that extra money, that 1.5% for maintenance and repairing boilers and all that, and invest it, you can make out like a fat rat. I'm just saying. You can make out like a fat rat. So, I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. I was looking for some stuff that I was doing yesterday, and I was looking at some, I'll do that in the 5 o'clock hour. Because in the 5 o'clock hour, I want to talk about what? I want to talk about the elections that are coming up. The elections. And look at it from a point of view of what are we doing in Milwaukee to make Milwaukee better. Rob said it's absolutely true that everybody needs to choose what's best for them and what they want. Yep. Because in the long run, you can't go back and erase the past. That's why you should never get upset about it or things you did or things you said, because there's nothing you can do. So guess what? Move forward. And I know it sounds weird, and I know it sounds strange, but it's just one of those things that you can do. Currently, it's 12 degrees outside at 54 minutes after the hour. Ooh, 12. But yeah, it's the poll, is it better to rent or buy? 73% said buy, 27% say rent. And if you rent in 5 years, like, what's this? Instead of investing the money, you spend all your time saving it so that you could put a down payment on a house to tie up your money for another 20 to 30 years. Sounds weird to me. And it's a gamble. Will you make money? Will you not make money? Will your house appreciate in value? Maybe, maybe not. See, the neighborhood I live in does not appreciate well. So my house isn't worth, I don't know, more than 20, 30% of what I paid for it. Now, the beauty is I saved up enough to have a substantial and sold another house. So I didn't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't have the mortgage insurance and all the other stuff. But that's because I did what I did before. I rented and then I bought. Same thing with the first house. I rented and then I bought. Thomas says, same thing happened to me too, Crystal. My comment about maintenance percentage was aimed at some people that don't factor in annual maintenance. They just look at rent amount versus mortgage amount. Of course they do. Because no one has sat down and told them, because they're always too busy trying to sell them a mortgage so the bank can get the interest, the realtor can get the commission, and you're left with 30 years of paying off a loan. And if that's not for you, you need to put in all the costs. Your mortgage is never going to be what they say it's going to be. It's always going to include interest. It's always going to include, if it's under 20%, private mortgage insurance. It's always going to include insurance on your house. There's no other way. There's no other way to do it. That's just it is what it is. And then you're going to have to fix it. You're going to have to maintain it. You're going to have to make sure the sidewalk is clean, make sure the grass is cut, the windows, the roof, everything. And it'll cost more to heat it. It'll cost more for water, and it'll cost more for electric. People need to know that going in. If you have all the information and then decide to buy a house, that's great. Just pay for it in the shortest amount of time you can. Get a 15-year mortgage and then pay it off in 7, and you'll be able to rock and roll. That's just me. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I ain't giving advice. I'm just giving experience. Top 5 up next.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations, where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. 1 employee has been fired and 2 others suspended by the Wisconsin Department of Corrections after the escape of Slenderman stabber Morgan Geiser. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the 3 staff members were originally placed on leave following the incident. Geiser cut off her GPS monitoring device and fled her group home in Madison back in November. She was found a day later in Illinois. It took DOC staff members almost 12 hours to report Geiser's escape to local authorities. The department is responsible for the state's GPS monitoring program. More reaction from Wisconsin's congressional delegation on the most recent deadly shooting in Minneapolis involving federal agents. Republican Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Tom Tiffany says he still has not seen any videos from over the weekend.
I've not watched the videos closely. I mean, oftentimes they're grainy, and I reserve judgment until professionals review this thoroughly and have a chance to do a full investigation.
Democratic Congresswoman Gwen Moore says everyone involved must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. There have been bipartisan calls for a deeper investigation. The Mount Pleasant Village Board approves plans for 15 more Microsoft data centers. The additional data centers will be located at 2 sites just east of I-94 on land already owned by Microsoft and zoned for industrial use. Project Director Claude Lewis doubling down on reassurances that Microsoft will pay its own way for energy use.
They are paying it themselves. And they also asked the PSC as well as We Energies to raise their rate to make sure that none of this would ever fall on yours, local ratepayers.
The expansion adds to 2 data centers already under construction in the former Foxconn site. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council
Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Crystal said, I have a question. Is it better to pay off a mortgage if you have the money, or is it better to keep paying the mortgage and hold on to money into your bank just in case money? Well, if you pay off your mortgage, you got all the equity in your house. This. I'm not giving advice. I'm just giving my opinion if I was going to do it. So I'm going to give a Dave Ramsey answer. You ready? I can give the tax money I would save on the interest payments to the federal government, or I can give the entire amount to the bank. Which one? So the interest that I would pay, I'm just making up a number, if I paid 20%, the interest I would pay on, let's say I save myself $1,000, I can pay 20%. Okay, I messed that up. I could pay 20%, which is $200, to the federal government, because now that money isn't going into my house and my interest payments aren't tax deductible. Or I can give all that to the bank. I'd rather give it to the government because it's a smaller number. Usually, it's a smaller number. That's just me. Better to pay off the mortgage. Depends on where you are financially, right? I've always been a person of don't carry any debt, so get rid of it as soon as possible. There's nothing wrong with paying taxes, especially if you have the money to pay taxes. You're going to always pay taxes. Somewhere, somebody said paying tax was bad, and it's not. Millionaires pay it every day. Billionaires pay it every day. Trillionaires pay it every day. When you make enough money where you don't have to worry about taxes, you've made it. So, me owning a house, I figured out everything I would need to do in order to pay it off. And I lost the interest deduction. That's just extra money that I don't deduct and I got to pay the government. Okay. That's just me. But I own all my house. I can sell it and take the equity and invest it. I can take it like this. Now I can do things. The problem with even when you pay off your house, it's not liquid. It's not liquid. It never is. So you give your money to a bank or a mortgage company or whoever you give it to, and you constantly pay them, and they constantly have income. Meanwhile, I'm not liquid. I can't just walk in and sell my house, and if it's worth $250, have $250 tomorrow. I got to pay somebody to sell it. I got to give them a commission. I got to give it. It's yeah. The government set this up, and the banks set it up so they can make money. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong. We need banks. We need banking institutions, especially in the black community. We need them. Just be aware and make sure you're telling the bank what you want versus them telling you what you're going to get. Because if they can't give it to you, go somewhere else. That's why I love credit unions. They're flexible. That's just me. Sir Chan said, Dr. Ken, overall, you've actually given me outstanding advice pertinent to the advantages and disadvantages and potential disadvantages of buying versus renting. 15-year mortgage max, though. Pay that mother off in 5. Yep. If you take a mortgage, that's a 15-year mortgage, and make extra payments, just one, I think, if I remember correctly, one extra payment every year would get you down toward the principal, would get you down to like 7 years, 8 years. So there's a lot of ways you could do. Go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, go to Grok, go to all them other AI things, and put your numbers in. Hey, I got a mortgage of this at this interest rate. How fast and how much would I have to pay towards principal and interest if I want to get it paid off in 7 years? And it'll kind of give you what you really want is an actuarial table, even though I don't think it's called an actuarial table. It's a table for your mortgage. I forget what you call it. And you could use that to figure out how much you need to pay. But if you just doubled it, you would pay it off. You know what I'm saying? It's so simple to do. But they talk you into buying more house. Well, you can order a $250,000 house. How about I buy a $100,000 house? No, you can order get a better house, get a bigger house. And you're just paying over. And now you're house poor. Like Crystal was talking about. Now you're house poor. And you're piling all your money into that. And then the furnace went out. And the hot water heater went out. And the electric went out. And you got to cut the grass, and you need a lawnmower, you need a washer, you need a dryer, you need a snow remover. And guess what? All those things are going to happen. All those things are going to break and go out because they always do. On top of that, you need windows and a roof. And that's the outside, not the inside. Yeah.
I'm calling Gina from Pella for windows.
There you go. Gina Della from Pella. Lifetime warranty. You get to go in, and the windows are yours, and you pay. And you pay more for the windows, right? You pay more, but then you pass that on to whoever buys the house. You can pass a portion of it because it raises the value. Like there are things you can do in your house, but paying off that mortgage. Think about, watch this. If you got a $1,500 mortgage, multiply that times 12, and that's how much of a raise you give yourself. If you're paying 30%, okay, 25% of your income on a house and you pay it off, you've just given yourself, carving out the taxes and the insurance that you're going to have to pay because you need homeowners insurance. We're talking you're giving yourself at least a 30% raise, 20% raise. Think about that. Hey, I know you made $100,000 for this year. You're going to make $120,000 because you don't have to pay your mortgage. For me, that alone stops me from wanting to have a mortgage. Miles said, Dr. Ken, do you think a 50-year mortgage can help or break a homeowner? That would help a homeowner continually and trying to think of the right word. Perpetually never become wealthy. Ever become wealthy. Ever. And then, Thomas, and then there's a housing bubble that breaks like 2008 and your equity disappears into a negative number. Sure did. But guess what? Mine didn't. Because I put down more than enough money that even if the property went down and when it did dip, I was always in the positive. Was I lucky? No. The bank even said, you mean you're not going to spend that money? You're going to take that money and put it on your house? Yes. You mean you're, yes. All of it? Yes. So that I instantly had equity. And when it dipped, I never went negative, ever, the entire time. So there are ways to do it. Crystal said, yep, that was right around the time we bought the money pit. Yep. Because they would give a mortgage to anybody. And watch this, Crystal, I don't know your particulars, but many people did not have business getting a house. They didn't have any business doing it. None. But that's when Bill Clinton came on and said what? Every American deserves to buy a house. No, they don't. No. Because that's what happens. It's a money pit. Anywho. 833-212-1017 is the number. Where'd I put it? Let me refresh my screen and tell you 13 minutes after the hour, it's 11 degrees, feels like -3. Low tonight is about 2 degrees, which means it's going to probably feel like 10 below Who knows? Winds are from the west-northwest at about 11 miles an hour. Air quality is good. Where's visibility? 10 miles. So, sunrise at 7:11 tomorrow morning. So it should be okay. But like Crystal said, all the drama she went through, it was a good lesson learned. She'll never make that mistake again. Who you telling? Sir John said, Dave Ramsey, loved that guy's show. Started listening to him and gathering much 30 years ago. Me too. Him and Clark Howard. Yep. Whenever I want to buy something, I go to clarkhoward.com. Give me some reviews on this. Give me some reviews on that. Tell me about it. This is good. That's good. This is good. And I read them. And some people go, don't buy it, because all the stuff at the top will be like 5 stars. I don't care what people say positive about something. I don't care what people say. You move too slow. I don't care what people say about the positive stuff. I want to know the negative. And then let me make up my mind. Oh, Dr. Ken, you had a great show. I know. Tell me what I messed up and what I can correct. Well, you messed up this, you messed up that, you should have did this, that's what I can work with. That's what I can make better. That's just me. So, Crystal, you got it. You got it. But Dave Ramsey, I learned a lot. Now, Dave Ramsey is only for when you're first starting out. Later, you need to move towards doing some things with an investment advisor and a financial advisor who can take you to the next level. Because there's some things that Dave Ramsey says you should do that later will come back and bite you if you don't do the other things. So it's what do they say? 6 in one hand and a dozen in another.
Number 5.
This from CBS 58. Sherwin talked about it earlier. The Wisconsin Department of Health announced yesterday it has confirmed 1 case of measles in Waukesha County. Ben Johnson, Waukesha County Public Health Officer, says the resident is an adult and the public risk factor is low due to limited exposure. They say it was related to international travel, and every place that this person was, they were able to identify all the people that were exposed and contact them directly. So you can still get the measles as an adult, but doesn't your measles vaccine like wear out or something, and you got to get another shot when you're 50 or 60 or something like that? Something like that. Crystal, that doesn't necessarily mean there'll be more because it was an adult. So if he didn't come in contact with children and all that and get people inoculated, I'm just saying. Oh, Slender Man update.
Number 4.
Rhea talked about it in the news at the top of the hour from WISN.com. A State Department of Corrections employee has been fired and 2 others have been suspended following the November escape of Slender Man stabber Morgan Geyser. Geyser, known for stabbing a fellow 12-year-old nearly to death in 2014. To appease the internet character, Slender Man was placed in a group home in Madison after being conditionally released from a mental facility this past year. Well, on November 22nd, Madison police say she cut off her ankle monitor and left home. About 24 hours later, they found her in Posen, Illinois, outside of Chicago, southwest of Chicago, sleeping outside a gas station with a 43-year-old, quote-unquote, friend. Department of Corrections, which is in charge of overseeing people on electronic monitoring, sent Madison Police an apprehension request, but Madison Police Chief John Patterson said the DOC did not verbally notify his department that she was missing. Local authorities were alerted 10 hours later after Geyser's group home called 911. The DOC launched a personnel investigation related to the incident. WISN 12 News has now learned that the 3 employees under investigation, 1 was terminated from the department, and 2 served a 5-day unpaid suspension and returned to work, while a 3rd served a 3-day suspension and returned to work. DOC Secretary Jared Hoy said also the DOC is modifying procedures to ensure immediate notification of local law enforcement when an ankle monitor is compromised. Like, why would where in your policy would you wait? It's better to call and then cancel than to not call or wait 12 hours. It just doesn't make any sense. Is there still child sex crimes in Milwaukee? Shocking.
Number 3.
From Fox6Now.com, an undercover child sex crime sting last week led to the arrest of 3 Milwaukee men, each of whom are now criminally charged. Milwaukee County prosecutors charged 61-year-old Juan Kennedy, 30-year-old Tyler Lucas, and 48-year-old Samuel Spears with 1 count each of the same felony, using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime. All 3 men made their court appearance initially on Monday, that's yesterday, and Kennedy's bond was set at $2,000, where Lucas and Spears was set at $5,000. Milwaukee Police Department, Oak Creek PD, and FBI conducted an operation that targeted people who were seeking to have sex with minors. Sick all by itself. A criminal complaint said law enforcement posted advertisements on websites known for facilitating prostitution. The ads provided a phone number for people to contact if they were looking to pay for sex. An undercover officer claiming to be 15 years old responded to inquiries and directed people to meet at an apartment complex near Loomis and Edgerton in Greenfield. Court filings say Kennedy, Lucas, and Spears independently replied to the ads via text. In all 3 instances, they agreed to go to an apartment complex after acknowledging they were communicating with someone who they believed to be 15 years old. Kennedy, Lucas, and Spears all arrived with the phones they'd been using to communicate with the undercover officer. That's according to the complaint. And all 3 were arrested at the apartment complex. Court filing said Lucas arrived with a condom and admitted he had searched terms online related to prostitution. Spears also had $200 and admitted he was chatting with someone who he believed was 15 years old and had agreed to meet that person for oral sex and to have sex in exchange for money.
This is a sick Negro.
Is there a hole that we could drop people in? Like when they're found guilty? Don't we have some bottomless holes? You know, like instead of executing people, because since we can't do that in Wisconsin, just find a hole and drop them in. I'm just saying. Speaking of irregular behavior.
Number 2.
From Fox6Now.com, former Milwaukee Public School paraprofessional Demetrios Visvardis is charged with misdemeanor battery. Prosecutors say he slapped an 18-year-old special needs student at a Riverside University High School in November of 2025. Yesterday, he pled not guilty and will be back in court for a deferred prosecution agreement hearing on February 23rd. After more than 2 months, Shirley Dunn said her daughter, Shrone, still has trouble sleeping. The nightmare started in November when the 18-year-old with cerebral palsy was a student at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. That's when prosecutors said Visvardis slapped Shrone. The entire thing is caught on camera. Court records show the incident happened in the hallway while Visvardis was helping Dunn put her shoes on. That's when a struggle started. And Dunn said it's hard to watch the video. And so police later arrested him and the school sent notices to families. Fast forward to last week, Visvardis was charged and pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor battery. Dunn said, "No, I'm not happy. That should have been abuse." So it's not the only case that they actually covered. In March of 2025, prosecutors originally charged MPS aide Jeffrey McClain, 62, with child abuse, and he later pleaded guilty to lesser charges of disorderly conduct. In September 2025, prosecutors charged 63-year-old William Houghton, another MPS aide, with child abuse. Dunn told Fox 6 News she wants MPS to adjust his hiring and disciplinary process, hoping no one else gets hurt. I just find it weird. You get a background check when you get hired, and then that's it. Like, what happened to, like, checking people ongoing? I'm in organizations where you got to check every year. Like every year, hey, you know you got to get your background check, right? But yet, I could work for schools where there are children, and I'm an adult, and I only get checked once? Interesting. You know, there's voting next month, and April, and August, and November. And there's some things you need to know about.
Number 1.
From JS Online, Wisconsin lawmakers have placed 2 new proposed constitutional amendments on the statewide ballot for the general election in November. The same day, voters are casting ballots for governor, attorney general, and a variety of other state offices. Voters will have final word on these 2 amendments after they twice pass both houses of the legislature, and governors do not have veto authority over constitutional amendments. A third amendment for voters is also possible, a measure to limit the governor's power to increase or create any tax or fee for residents by the use of a veto. Evers used one such one to increase funds for schools for 400 years, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. Has nothing to do with him being Democrat or Republican. Nobody should be able to do that. That measure will appear on the voters' ballots if passed by the Assembly by the end of the session this spring. So, a constitutional amendment to allow worship during public emergencies. Proposed constitutional amendment would enshrine the ability to gather in places of worship even during a state of emergency, a measure that arose after Governor Tony Evers prohibited gatherings larger than 10 people inside churches during COVID. Also, another proposed amendment would prohibit governmental entities from discriminating against or granting preferential treatment to any individual or group based on race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in public employment, public education, public contracting, and public administration, according to the resolution memo. Democrats pushed back on the bill during debate in the Senate, saying that the programs help certain groups can be beneficial. This state, who said this? Dora Drake, Democrat of Milwaukee, said this state and many local communities here have historically had bipartisan programs and the guardrails designed to support different communities around the state that need help. Now you're attempting to eliminate them by claiming that they provide preferential treatment based on race, sex, ethnicity, and national origin. Republicans supported the resolution, saying it gives everyone more of a chance. Senator Stephen Noss, Republican of Whitewater, highlighted state-led programs that provide funding based on a person's gender or race, such as the University of Wisconsin offering scholarships to minority students, but not to white or Asian students. Past discrimination, however wrong, cannot be corrected with more discrimination. Wounds cannot be healed by inflicting new ones. So how's that a wound where the system is created for you to easily get in school and other people can't? I understand what they're saying, and I think it should be based on that. But if that's the case, they need to add to this constitutional amendment that the standards to get into a UW school have to be set and then can't be changed for a generation. That's just me. You can only change it every 15 years. Okay, I'm lying. Every 10. That'll work. 10 years. You have 10 years. You can't keep raising the bar, lower the bar, move the bar, because that's what's been happening in the past. Oh, no. You can get in. You just have to have this grade point average and this score on the ACT, this score on the SAT, this, and go jump through all these hoops. And that's the problem. It's not about race or gender. It's about what is the goal and can I reach the goal? You always set the goal and then move it. Oh, too many people are getting that score now. We gotta raise it up. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number.
All your favorite interviews and best moments live in one place.
We don't feel the same. And I just told them that if they would just do an interview and let our leaders know, because Tori Lowe, Sherry Hughes, Elizabeth Brown, 101.7 The Truth is Milwaukee's Black Talk.
Download the new 101.7 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 101.7 The Truth.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When the winter chill sets in, Milwaukee turns up the wonder. From January 22nd to February 1st, 2026, Milwaukee Museum Days invites you to unlock the city's cultural treasures at special admission prices, up to 25% off many top attractions. Explore world-class art, local history, hands-on science, and one-of-a-kind Milwaukee experiences. Pair your museum visits with Milwaukee Hotel Month deals for the ultimate winter escape. Learn more at visitmilwaukee.org/museum days.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yo, this ain't an ordinary love song. I got a little bit more flavor. So we're gonna do it a little differently right now. We're gonna kick it off a little something like this.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017, 30 minutes after the hour. You know, every child deserves a school that sees their brilliance, a place that believes in who they can become. At Milwaukee College Prep, we set the bar high with strong character, high expectations, and academic excellence, starting as early as age 3. MCP scholars continue to outperform their peers across Milwaukee because we believe every child can achieve greatness. And the best part, it's tuition free. So if you're looking for a school that partners with you, challenges your child, and prepares them for college and beyond, visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, because Milwaukee College Prep is where brilliance begins. 833-212-1017 is the number. Angela in the talking text line said, also, unfortunately, just like vehicles, when buying a home, even after doing a home inspection, the seller doesn't have to share issues or problems with the home. So you get in the home and figure out within a year what was hidden. And even when asking for a home warranty to be paid for by the seller, typically for a year, usually doesn't cover the issues that arise. Sage advice. YouTube chat, Crystal said, don't you wish you could ask them what they were thinking? I'm assuming that's about the guys that went to see the 15-year-old, but anyway. Tens at bro, what? Sick? Yes, it is. Okay, Crystal, I'm not going to put that out because I can't confirm that. Yeah. Oh, she said that was the DLC. What were they thinking? Oh, they were trying to figure out a way to save their butt and see whether or not they could find her before it got reported. But she had already cut off the monitor, and DLC had already been notified. So just say, hey, she broke. Now, were you making bed checks and checking on people that she was able to leave and be gone that long? And some guy that had been climbing in her window and visiting her on a regular, and you didn't know? What's that about? You know, somebody went to sleep at night. I'm going to bed. I ain't checking on these people. I don't know what happened. All I can say is that was cray-cray. That's unfortunate. 833-212-1017 is the number. Our poll today, is it better to rent or buy? 78% say buy and 22% say rent. We need a third option that says, I don't care. Oh, all right. So I was looking at something I found of interest, and really it comes down to, you know, we talked earlier about elections and voting, and we were going to talk about that, the future of Milwaukee, you know, major areas to grade in Milwaukee. You know, there are some indicators that we just skip over. You know, I'm looking at crime. Okay, let's look at graduation rates. Let's look at entry to college. Let's look at entry to the trades. Let's look at all that. Avoiding politics and race in the equation of decision making might help us make a clearer decision. In other words, what's best for you? What do politicians, leaders, everybody need to change in Milwaukee after the election? We've got primaries, and we got all that stuff coming up. General elections for the city, the state, the country. What are we going to do? Statewide, spring primary, February 17th. Spring general election, April 7th. Fall primary, August 11th. Fall general election, November 3rd. Are we going to put anybody new in office? Or are we going to keep putting the same people in and getting the same thing back? What are we doing? And if you're going to put somebody in, what questions are you going to ask them and make them do it? And if they don't do it, fire them. What politicians right now today need to be fired? There are a number of them that need to be fired. They only complain after the fact. Now, everybody start calling and complaining about heat. They've been getting calls and complaining about heat, and they follow up with the landlord, and we did our part. Meanwhile, people are close to freezing to death. But they won't have to freeze to death, because if the pilot light goes out on their gas stove because they don't have an electric stove, or a fire starts, they'll die that way. And then we'll backtrack and we'll see, oh, the apartment owner didn't do this. The apartment owner didn't do that. Well, the rent is at a certain amount where you should be able to live in an apartment that's warm enough. And that's questionable. You got to test the heater. Do the pipes work? Is it radiated heat? Is it forced heat? All those things play a part in how warm you are. Are the windows good? Is it keeping the heat in, or is it escaping? Like, all those things need to be looked at. The problem is they got these minimums for construction of homes and apartments and all that, so you don't really got to look at it. And all of a sudden you look up and, well, we checked the boiler, we checked the furnace, and it's working great. It's at its optimum thing. Well, it's great, but the pipes are terrible, and we got radiated heat, and radiated heat rises. So everybody on the top floor should be burning up, and everybody like it's just weird. But then you get Beecher Court, where everybody's cold. Everybody cold. Nobody does anything about it. And while we're keying on one owner, we need to be keying on all owners. Everybody that owns an apartment building needs to get their stuff done. And the city, the problem is the city doesn't have enough money to go after that. Crystal says she likes Francesca Hong. I don't like anybody that's against school choice. I'm in the same camp as Sherwin. If you don't have an opportunity for poor people to be able to choose the best schools for themselves and not have to pay for it, that's trash. And if you think that choice steals money from MPS or public schools, that is a lie from the pit of hell. It is. If I got 50 students at a school and 5 go to a choice school, the first year that public school is paid for 50 students, even though they only got 45, and the other school is paid half, roughly whatever they would get for being a choice school. Then the next year, the 5 are at the school, then the public school gets money for 45. Why wouldn't you want money for 45 because you only got 45? Why would you blow taxpayer money for students that are not there? But that is how teachers unions think. They just want money. More kids, more teachers, more money for teachers. That's all they care about. They don't care about the students. They don't. And they prove it all the time. The fact that you would say that you're a socialist and you don't give choice to children, that doesn't make any sense. You could disagree if you want, but the facts don't support you. There are too many other schools that are doing phenomenal work, better than MPS, better scores, better attendance, better discipline. Like, I don't understand that. That doesn't mean you're against public schools. That means you just want good schools for everybody. And if I'm a taxpayer, I should be able to choose where my money goes. I was one of those that was not and never made enough money, or should I say reverse, made too much money to get choice dollars my entire life. So guess what? I paid for private school while I still paid taxes for MPS. Didn't complain about it. Didn't get mad about it. Didn't try to figure out if my child could get choice dollars. Why? Because I understood from the beginning I wanted my child in the best school they can go to, and they did. They went to Mount Calvary Lutheran. They went to Our Redeemer Lutheran and Divine Savior Holy Angels. That's it. That's what I paid. And trust me when I tell you, I paid a lot. A lot. And sometimes it was a struggle, but I did it. And I did it because I wanted what was best for my children, and I sacrificed and got an extra job and did all kinds of things. But that is what you do. Watch this. I had a right to do that. I had a choice to do that. All I'm saying is every parent should have the same right and the same choice. Just because you got more money. Crystal said, I don't get to pick where my tax money goes. Yes, you do. You do. You most certainly do. Who told you that? You get to choose the municipality it goes to. You get to choose what block you live on. You get to choose what property you own. You get to choose where you live. You get to choose the school district. You choose all that. You choose where you buy stuff. You choose what tax you pay. I don't want to pay tax over there. I'm going to pay over here. If Milwaukee County tax is too high, or tax in Milwaukee is 7.9%, I can go to a suburb and instantly cut my price just on gas. If I go outside of Milwaukee County, I can get it even cheaper. Like those are the things. Those are the conscious choices we make every day. So if I have to pay into a system and my child is not in the system, why do I have to pay? Why can't I pay where my child goes? We're one of the few places that puts a limit on income for choice schools. Arizona doesn't. You could be a multi-billionaire, and because you pay taxes, you get to choose where your kid goes and where the money goes. Now, we do it for college all the time. Why is there a problem in public schools? Because the only people that make out like fat rats are teachers, administrators, and unions. And we keep paying more and paying more. And I'm not saying teachers should make more money. Sure. But they're like everybody else. They chose to teach, so that's the money they make. And if you don't like it, quit. But I'm not here to pay taxes so that somebody else can get something for free. Same thing with immigration. Barack Obama threw out more people than Donald Trump will ever get close to. But nobody says anything about that. You do not have a right to live here because you came here illegally. You do not have a right. You know why? Because, Crystal, they're using your tax money to pay for education for people who didn't pay a dime into the tax system. They get driver's licenses for free. They get jobs that you could work, but they work because they're cheaper. And I don't have a problem if you're working and you're taking care of it. You know, if you want to find a way. Barack Obama said, absolutely not. You didn't earn anything here. You're illegal and you need to go. And he threw them all out, doing the same thing ICE does now. Y'all just see it on video. Yes, they had accidental shootings, I'm sure. Yes, they had things that went wrong and, you know, cops probably got fired. Why are people fighting so hard to keep ICE occupied and keep people that aren't supposed to be here here? Here's what I think. If I can get people that are getting low pay or no pay to get some pay, they're going to be beholden to vote for me. The problem is, in the black community, all they're going to do is displace black people, and you'll just be third or fourth on the rung, and you'll do worse then after they come in and they get their vote. And they'll give them citizenship. They'll outnumber us, and we'll still be at the bottom trying to look up. And now with the final traffic check of the day, here's Debbie Lazica.
We got backups westbound 94 from 17th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from Highway 100 all the way to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, we got backups from Brookfield Road to Calhoun, and then out of the 76th Street area past 68th, and then actually looks pretty good all the way to the Marquette. Southbound 41, though, we do have delays from Silver Spring down past Capitol, and then back on the brakes from Blue Mound Road down through the Zoo interchange. One more backup from just before Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 1 above. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Crystal said, what people have a problem with is the way ICE is acting like the Gestapo in our communities. Can I help you with something, Crystal? ICE has always act like the Gestapo in our community. They're acting like the Gestapo to get out people that aren't supposed to be in the community. Some of them who are controlling a community by the gangs they're in and the countries they come from, and scaring people so that they don't do certain things. And it's freeing up communities to be able to grow. So that's the part, even though some of the ICE agents are wrong. Some of them are doing things, Border Patrol, they're doing things they shouldn't do. One of the things that people are missing is that this has been going on for decades. And look at the whole thing, not just the parts that are wrong. But their job is to go in and be bruised. The gangs are not overhyped. You don't know what you're talking about. I worked in law enforcement for nearly 30 years. They are not overhyped. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying. They're not. Ask the people that are afraid to come out of their houses. Ask the people that are getting extorted. Ask them. Because they are. How do you know about those gangs in those neighborhoods? Explain it. I'll wait. I'll wait for YouTube to catch up with everything I'm saying. How do you know? Tell me. Don't call me. Tell me. I ain't got time now. Tell me. Just text it. 833-212-1017 is the number. You can text there or you can do it on the YouTube chat. All right. In other news, I want to talk tomorrow about how we stop others from stealing black culture. So tomorrow, Zach, remind me. I want to talk about stolen legacy. And those things in our community we need to hold sacrosanct. Those things that you can't steal. That's what I'm talking about. I also want to talk about tomorrow. Is it time to go back? Is it time for some Jim Crow era or black organizations to step up? I'm calling out the Divine Nine, Prince Hall Masons, 100 Black Men. Like, is it time to turn up the fire and get things changed in Milwaukee? Been sitting back too long, college educated, got jobs, paying money, doing things. Let's get a move on. And I'll be calling y'all out tomorrow too. And the reason I say that is because I'm in all three of those organizations. I'm calling me out too. It's time to make change, and it's time to make adjustments in the city of Milwaukee. Don't be talking this nonsense about, oh, make sure you get out and vote, because you only want people to vote your way. What am I getting for my vote? You want me to vote for the Democratic Party? What am I getting? What are you promising me? What have you delivered that you promised before? And if you mention Donald Trump, I'm going to automatically tell you no. It's dumb. Mandela Barnes, running for governor. I'm going to step up and do all this thing. And what's the first thing they play? I'm going to go against Donald Trump. Dude, the state needs help. What are you doing?
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Day one,
Diagnosis day, the hardest day, the day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
B. Bruce say, salute to the only benevolent black cop ever. LOL, Dr. Ken. You still don't know what you're talking about. It's a whole bunch of great people. One of them even died last year serving this community. So stop. Come out there and find you, B. Bruce. Nah, I'm just kidding. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I want to also say thank you, S.E. Crystal. Crystal been busting my chops the entire evening. Keep it up, girl. Sincere, Ronnie Ray Real. Let me see. 10 Mile, Quanda, Sir Chance, Rob, Thomas. Thank y'all for hanging out. Lucretia, you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 77, Melody, Africa Queen. Thank y'all, Dimitri. Thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it. Zay, have a great evening. God bless. Take care. Be safe. Stay warm. Check on your neighbors. And I'll see you tomorrow. Hump Day. Zach, appreciate you. I'm out.
Be quiet.
Thank you.